Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. Today we have three great stories. In the first, a lady at the bank threatening to fire an employee but ended up getting disbarred and fined. Second story is that no one can fire you if you quit, especially if you don't work there. And the third story is that when you threaten to fire someone, remember that you might be the one who gets fired. I don't work here anymore. My last two jobs have been at financial institutions, and I've enjoyed them both. Being the kind of service that everyone needs, we see all kinds, so naturally there are some troubled customers. The other day I was visiting the bank I used to work at before moving to the credit union I currently call work. For those confused by the difference between a bank and a credit union, all credit unions are banks, not all banks are credit unions. The banks don't like credit unions using bank lingo. The credit unions think that's fine because we like to differentiate ourselves anyway. Not all credit unions are connected. Privacy laws. And at a credit union, you're not a customer, you're a member, and your common shares account means you own a part of the company. So I was closing some investments, and while I was talking to the teller, I became the recipient of a very hard tap on the shoulder. I turn around to see this lady that I'd helped when I used to work there. She had a very angry look on her face. Characters: me, yours truly, cute, cuddly, nice guy, lovable, adorable, phenomenal, cosmic powers, great with kids, does laundry, does dishes, and I'm pretty handy and mechanical. Humble AF. AL is angry lady. I won't call her Karen because the dozen or so ladies that I do actually know named Karen, including my mother-in-law, are absolute gems. AL, there you are. I've been trying to reach you for months. Why haven't you returned my calls? Me. Oh, hi. I'm sorry, I moved over to another institution. AL, well, here you are now. I need help with my mutual funds. Me, well, I can't help you with your investments here. I haven't worked here in almost 2 years. AL, don't give me that. If you don't work here, why are you here? Me, I'm closing my accounts and taking them to where I work. AL, why are you losing money here too? Me, no, nothing like that. It's just easier for me to... AL, well, you must have some good reason to move your millions in banker money, especially with the fees you idiots charge here. Full disclosure, the vast majority of my savings went toward a down payment on a house last year, and now I have debt. The remainder of what I withdrew the other day went to cover my overdraft. Me, well, I guess I don't need to worry about that anymore. AL, what? Why? Me, because I don't work here anymore. AL, stop lying. You give me my money right now. Me, I can't. AL, you can and you will, or I'll have you fired. Me, you can't. AL, yes I can. I know your manager. Me, well, I know you know him. I'm the one who introduced you to him when he transferred from another branch, and he's not my manager anymore since... AL, don't you dare say it. Don't you... Me, annoyed. I don't work here anymore. I turned back to the teller who'd finished closing most of my accounts and consolidated them into one and was preparing a draft to take to my credit union to deposit it there. Somehow there weren't any other customers in the branch, and the teller and I just exchanged smiles and eye rolls. Again with the shoulder tap, I turned around slowly. Me, ma'am, if you touch me again... AL, you'll what? Finger poke to my chest. You'll close my accounts? I've decided to leave here anyway. Me, oh, cool. AL, eyebrows now airborne. Well, I never. Me, yes you did. Every day. She turned around with a huff and made a stompy hurry towards the door, but decided to make an impromptu visit to my old manager's office. I turned around to finish my business with the teller. 30 seconds later, this is what I heard. Enter the manager. AL, you can't do that. I will not be treated this way. I want that employee fired. Manager, ma'am, I heard everything that went on out there. He told you at least 5 times he doesn't work here anymore, which means you're abusing my customer. According to the policy, which you signed when you opened your account with us and we told you to read, not just discard, I have the right to deny your service. AL, how dare you? Manager, that's enough, ma'am. I've already taken the liberty of closing your accounts, demarketing your profile, and charging the appropriate fees. AL, what fees? Manager, fees and withholding taxes for withdrawing from an RRSP and early withdrawal fees for your GICs. I'll have a teller make a draft for you. AL, but how will my mortgage get paid? Manager, I'm still working on the calculations for the early payout penalties. Clearly flabbergasted, the lady left the bank without another word. I could feel an icy cold death stare on the back of my neck as she glided toward the door. And our second story. Well, I quit again, I guess. I had left my part-time job at a department store with a red logo about 6 months earlier to accept full-time work at a red poloed grocery store. There was a new store manager that had transferred in, and he was just about the worst customer service tyrant I ever met. So it was all very well timed. We didn't work together long enough to learn each other's names, but I'll never forget his catchphrase, "Give him the pickle." That was his way of saying the customer's always right for some weird reason. Anyway, I needed a new pair of uniform pants and decided to stop by and scope out the ladies' clearance on the way home from work, not thinking the uniform would be an issue as the department store didn't use uniforms when I worked there. So I began to start digging through the clearance racks, mostly undisturbed. I worked in men's originally, and it was a large store, so different departments didn't interact a lot, when a wild Karen appeared. K is Karen, me is me, SM is store manager. Karen: "Do you know where the formal dresses are?" Me, not even looking up. "I think they're around the back of the store." K: "Can you see if you have this one in the back?" Medium, holding up a sweater on a hanger. Me: No, sorry, I don't work here. Someone can help you at the counter around the corner." K: "But you're in uniform." Me: "I actually work at such and such grocery store. The people here wear red lanyards with the company name." K: "But you knew where the dresses were?" Me: "Sorry, someone at the counter can help you." At this point, she throws the hanger/sweater combo in my direction and actually stamps her foot like a toddler. I figured at this point that it wasn't going to de-escalate, so I probably should just lay low until this woman finds a real employee. So I wander over to housewares, while Karen screams threats of, "You better hope I don't find the counter and I'll have your job." So it's about 10 minutes later when Karen marches up with SM in tow. I'm busy admiring the weird 17-in-1 breakfast maker they're selling. Now, it's important to mention at this point that sometime during the reign of SM and my 6-month absence, a uniform change had been made. Floor staff still only wore lanyards, but any receiving or stock associates wore red polos, so I kind of understand how this last part happened. But still. Karen, pointing. "That's her. She was incredibly rude." SM, looking me up and down. "I'm incredibly sorry, ma'am. We take our customer service very seriously here." Turning to me. "You know our motto." I roll my eyes harder than I knew they could roll. SM, "Give 'em the pickle. If you can't live by that standard, maybe this isn't the right fit for you. I think we need to discuss your plans for the future at this company." At this point, I'm flabbergasted. I can see residual recognition in SM's eyes, but it's clear he doesn't know who I am or remember that I don't actually work for him. Me, mouth opening and closing like a dying fish. "But I quit." SM, "Well, if that's how you feel." Karen, cackling. Me, "No, I quit." Stupidly unable to communicate past tense. SM, "Who's your supervisor? I'll radio them and come complete your exit." Me, still dying fish before epiphany. "You know what? Screw this. I don't need pants that bad." And I promptly left. Out the wrong door. I had to walk all the way around the mall to get to my car without going back through the store, but I was never going in again. So later I called up my friend who still works there. This is where I eventually get the handy uniform change info, relay the whole stupid story ready for a laugh. She responds, "Oh my God, that was you?" He spent hours trying to figure out who walked out. And our third story. Work faster or I'll fire you. This happened to me about 4 years ago in summer in Turkey when my uncle was having his wedding. I was almost 16 years old and it was my first time that I'd worn a suit to a wedding. Since it was the first time, I wanted to make sure I looked great in it, so I took off my jacket because it was really hot outside. I didn't want to have sweat marks all over my nice new white shirt. So there I was standing outside this wedding venue, greeting other guests and welcoming other relatives. This is where things get interesting. So there was this catering service, which was simultaneously preparing the food for the wedding. They were all dressed the same, white shirt, black pants, nice black shoes, normal belt. Problem was, I looked the same and didn't have anything on me which could possibly tell that I'm different than them, since I took off my jacket and they couldn't tell either. Standing at the entry, welcoming guests, an employee, he was probably 35, so there was a huge age difference, and he looked way bigger than me, approached me and asked what the F I was doing. Nothing? Do I know you? Don't just stand there. Start moving fast and do something. Guests will be very angry if the food's not ready in time. I kind of thought he was joking about this stuff since we looked exactly the same and I was young too, but apparently catering services hired anyone who has 2 arms and legs. Because I knew the sense of humor Turkish people have, I thought he was just trying to be funny. But then he approached me again and asked if I wanted to get fired and that he'd do anything to make sure I wouldn't get any money for what I did until then too. It was that moment I realized he wasn't trying to be funny anymore, but dead serious. I was angry for him being disrespectful towards a guest, so I responded in a very angry way, telling him to F off and leave me alone. I could have told him I wasn't working for the catering service, but I didn't know he wouldn't get it. He then grabbed me on the arm and threatened to beat me up if I continued disrespecting him, knowing I'm apparently holding them to get the food ready just in time. OFC, everyone started running towards me. Can't even count all the people who tried to get him off me. Just when he finished his sentence, my grandfather grabbed the employee and did the same on him and told him that I wasn't working for him and that now he wouldn't work for my grandfather anymore either. The employee's supervisor was really ashamed of his employee's behavior and tried to do me a favor by letting me fire him for him. I did fire him by telling him, "Seems like it's just you who won't earn much money today." Hey guys, thanks for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.